In this video, I'm going to go over how to download and start logging into the Newsify app, which is a way to help keep all of the blogs that you like to read organized. And then we'll get a blog into Newsify, and I'll show you how to find that and do that. And then finally, I'll show you my Newsify account and some of the ways I use it. So first of all, getting Newsify from the App Store. You want to type in Newsify in the upper right-hand corner to search. And the app looks like the one you see in the upper left-hand corner where it says News. I already have the app, so mine says Open. You want to hit Get and get it downloaded. And you can pause this video while you're doing that if you'd like. So once you've downloaded the app, you should have an Open button. Just push that Open button, and it'll take you right into the Newsify app. Again, Newsify is a way for you to keep all of the blogs that you would like to read that get updated daily or weekly or monthly in one place so that you don't have to keep going back to separate favorited websites or typing in the blog address every time to go and find if that blog has been updated. It just automatically shows up in Newsify when that happens. So we're going to hit the plus button up in the top right-hand corner here, and we're going to add your favorite blog. Now, if you have a blog that you already like, you can add it right in here. You can search through the various options that are on here to look for them, but I'm going to start everybody out with a blog that I think is a good general education blog, and it's Teach Thought. I think it's a .org. We will find out. You do have to be really specific about how you type in this particular window here because it's very fussy. Like if you don't put it just right, like if you put a .org instead of a .com, which I'm sure this is a .com instead, it won't find it. Sometimes like the www stuff is a little weird, and so sometimes you have to play with it. I found that, you know, what I think is the web address for the blog isn't always precise, but it works really slick for the most part. You can see here that the Teach Thought search came up with two different options. I could get the feed itself, so that's the posts to the blog, or I could get updates on the comments feed, so the comments that people are putting on the blog. I just want the feed itself, so I'm going to hit the little plus button. And there it is. It's called the Teach Thought feed. If I wanted to rename it something else, maybe just take out that feed, I could click on it and do that. Go back. So now it's just Teach Thought. If I had folders of different blogs, I could do that here. I could organize them by folder. So I could just put in education. And that's going to go in my education folder of blogs. And other than that, it's ready to go. So you just hit save. And then it seems weird up here, but you're going to hit cancel next. You can see there's a check mark by that Teach Thought feed, so it's okay. If you hit cancel, that means we're done with that window, and it's starting to bring in those blog posts for that particular blog that we put in there. So you can see we're in the education folder, and if I click on that, this is all my Teach Thought blog posts that have come by, right? So that's kind of in general how you get started. If you want to add another one, you just hit plus again. I come up with another blog. I can put it in the same folder. I can put it in a different folder. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to cancel out of that from now. Something else that I would like to show you is the way the layout of this is right now. It's like kind of like a magazine layout, they would call it. I like to have mine more in a list. I don't know if that makes a difference to the rest of you, but this is how I prefer to read mine. So if you go up here in the corner and hit these three dots and you hit switch view, now it shows it in a list, and I just makes me less crazy that way for some reason. It shows you when the particular post was put on there, and you can see the headline and then a little bit about each one too. So let's say I want to read this first one. So this advice for teachers post. So I'm just going to click on it. And it opens it up right there in Newsify, and you can see there's all the information that that blog post had. Sometimes when you get to this window, you have to click the headline one more time to get to the blog post. I don't know why, but if you see this and you don't see anything else underneath it, like if you don't see all the writing underneath it, just click it again and it'll take you to that blog post. All right, when you go back, you can see now that this one is grayed out to show that I've read this one. So it'll eventually go away. All these ones that are still bolded are ones that I haven't read yet. If I want to get rid of all of them, because I'm not interested in reading the ones that are left, again, I go up to those three little dots and I can put mark all as read, and then they'll all go away and I won't see them anymore, which I often do because I don't want to read every single blog post that comes my way. Let's see what else is under these little three dots here, or these little three dashes here on the left. So you can look at all the items, so I'll see my deleted ones as well. I can look at just the unread items, so those are the ones I haven't read yet. You can see that grayed out one is gone. I could star something, like if I wanted to make sure I came back to it, I could do that and then it would show up in the starred items. Also down here at the bottom, as on the right hand side here in the bottom, is this little gear icon. If I click on that, that's going to give me a whole bunch of other settings and notices and things like that that you can play along with. Okay, so there's what would be interesting for you here. Night mode just turns it to a black background. So if you prefer, let's get done with this. If you prefer to read on a black background, you can do that. A double tap will also take you back and forth between those. So you can take care of it that way. Let's just go back here. Oops. That's not where I wanted to be. Night mode, there we go. There's different themes. There's different ways you can, open your links and organize your folders. Honestly, I haven't played around with this a whole lot, so it's pretty good the way it is, but I wanted to show you that that was there. Okay, then the other thing that I really like to do within Newsify is share out the things that I'm reading. So let's say I open this article here and I've decided I really like it and I want to be able to send it to someone in some way, shape, or form, or I want to save it to read later somewhere else. So there's this little button down here at the bottom right-hand corner that has the out arrow on it. So if I hit that, it gives me all sorts of different choices of things that I can do with it. So I could send it out through Twitter right there and send that article out to people, or on Facebook. Pocket is a place where you can store all of the links that you like in one place. You could send it to Pocket. You could email right from here. Okay, there's email options. Let's see, I don't have my email set up on this particular iPad, but it would show up in here if you wanted to email it. You could send it as a message, like a text message. You could use Evernote to save it as a link. You could put it into Google+. So what I really like about Newsify is there's a lot of ways to move this web link out to someone else or to save it for myself for later. Moving to the left along here, these arrows just move you through the feed back and forth. So that's one other way besides going backwards and getting back to those other blog posts. The star is now going to put it into that starred category that I was talking about. And the circle is if you want to mark it as unread for some reason, you don't want it to show it up as grayed out, then you mark it as unread, and when you go back, it's still unread. Okay, the 20 classroom setups are still shown as being unread. That's the majority of what I wanted to show you in this brand new app. What I usually do when I'm all done going through my Newsify account is I mark all as read, and then it clears it out, and they're done. They're out of there. So it doesn't get clogged up and make me feel stressed out because I have, I think, a bunch of things to read. I do want to show you quickly, though, the account from my end, what my account looks like. And so I'm just going to pause this for a moment and switch over to my iPad where I actually use Newsify. Okay, so here we are in my Newsify app. You can see it has a little red 27 there. That's part of the notifications that you can turn on or off with Newsify. That means there's 27 new articles in my account I haven't read yet. So when I open it up, I'm brought to that screen right away where you can see all of those articles. But then you can see down at the bottom on the left-hand side, it says I have 11 new items that have come up since I last opened this. And so I can just hit refresh and those pop up. Another way to refresh your feed is just to pull down on it and it'll update it with any new items that you have already. But remember, you always have those little 3 bars over on the left-hand side where you've got all of your different blog posts or your blogs that you're following listed, and then those unread items are right there. Okay, I just wanted to show you this so that you could see kind of like what it looks like when it updates, but also you can see how many blogs I have in here that I'm following. Okay, so you can add endless amounts to your Newsify feed and not get overwhelmed with having to check all those every day. Okay, they all feed right into here. I did leave a list of blogs for you to follow if you were interested in starting to add a bunch today. You can look and see the description of those and add in any that you'd like to add to your Newsify feed.